Not too bad.
That's good.
Hey, Lena, so that you know, Christina wasn't able to join us, but Daxton Miller, do you know Daxton from St. Louis?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He's going to join us instead.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Anytime I can help.
It's appreciated.
All right, we should be live on Facebook and we are recording. Just a reminder for everybody who's joining us on Facebook right now, this is the communication tips. They're going to go through, Derek and Mary are going to go through how to write speeches and just how to communicate better as people. So just kind of sit tight for a couple of minutes as we get things settled, and we'll begin in a little bit.
All right, I have Daxton via phone too.
Okay. Hey, Daxton.
Hi.
Daxton, can you hear Derek okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Well, Daxton Miller and Lena Hodgson have agreed to help us out with today's class. We're so excited that they joined us. They are both excellent communicators, and I know we'll learn some from them as well. We are going to go over kind of what an interview is and kind of a question and answer session, and they're going to help us with that. So we thank you both for joining us, especially Daxton for filling in last minute for someone else, and we so appreciate that. But sometimes that's what an interview is. Sometimes it happens on the fly. So it's good to have some things prepared in your toolbox that you can be ready to share your message. Derek and I are so excited. If you're returning, welcome back. If this is your first time joining us for a communications lesson, welcome. You can go back and see any of our past lessons. This is the fourth one we've done. You can go back to somo.org/at-home and watch any of our sessions or any of the other great ones we've been hosting each day by Somo, or you can follow us on Facebook and to see any of these great lessons. But we are going to do a refresher at the beginning just to get everyone up to speed. And sometimes it helps us as well. So again, my name is Mary. I work for Somo, and I'm excited to be presenting to you today. Derek, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. And my name is Derek Sandbothe, and I am an athlete with Special Olympics Missouri, as well as their first ever hired employees with Special Olympics Missouri as well. And I have been teaching Global Messenger 2 classes with Mary at our athlete leadership program at the university for the past 3 years. And it's been a true blessing. So, each and every time that I get to meet new athletes and returning athletes, being able to share their stories with all of us and stuff, and how their lives are affected by what we say and do. And so I'm very, very glad to be able to see you guys and to be able to listen to your awesome stories that you have to tell. So we are very, very glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's get started. We're going to do a refresher. Feel free at any moment to wave your hand if you have a question or jump in. Or if you're on Facebook or watching at a later time, please leave a comment and we will get back to you. Sorry, my PowerPoint is frozen for a second. There we go. Derek, do you want to give us a refresher on the definition of communications?
Sure. Communication is basically the act of giving, receiving, and sharing of information.
Yeah. I know we keep going over that every week, but it's so important to remember that it's that simple. We communicate all day long, every day. It's giving, receiving, and sharing information. And there are three parts to communication. What are those, Derek?
Sure. Sender, message, and receiver is what we do all day long, every day. And so, we're always sending messages, receiving messages, or even writing messages. So it happens all the time, whether it's verbal, nonverbal. So
That's why it's so important to be aware of how communication works, because we are doing it all the time. So it's important to be aware of the message that we are sending. The last few weeks, we've gone over the different parts of a speech. Derek, do you want to refresh us on those different parts?
Sure. The most important to me is the opening, because that's like getting you ready for what your speech is going to be talking about. Then the body is, with the stories, the memories and stuff, that you share with everybody about what special was done and stuff, and what you're trying to get out of what your presentation is. And then your closing is basically the wrap up and stuff. It's kind of like me and Mary, we looked at this as a hamburger type deal. Um, so we really, really want our hamburger to be very, very tasty and yummy. So our bun and stuff, top bun, bottom bun is really important. Um, your catch line and stuff, with your opening statement, um, it can be something very, very powerful, like, especially when it changes lives. And this is how special Olympics has changed my life. It could possibly change yours as well. And then kind of give some explanation on what facts there are and something as to how special Olympics has affected you personally.
And that hamburger analogy that Derek's talking about, that's just a good way to remember. It just holds everything together, and that your speech will only be good if you have all those ingredients that make it up. You don't want to be missing a part. Daxton, you're a communications graduate from ALPS, from Athlete Leadership Programs University. Do you remember that hamburger analogy?
What hamburger?
Oh,
I know.
You're just thinking of food, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember how when you wrote your speech, especially in Global Messenger 2, when you really put all the parts of a speech together, and it was like the opening, the body, and the closing? How important it was to have all three parts. Do you remember that?
I think so.
Yeah, I know you do, because your speeches that you've written since have all those parts, and they're wonderful. That's awesome. So we've gone over your story. Derek talked about that in the body of your speech. That's really the heart of it, the meat, where the good stuff is. And we want you to keep developing and keep sharing your story. We're going to hear a little bit from Lena and Daxton. Just from asking them questions, they're going to be sharing parts of their story. So it really shows how easy it is, because no one knows it better than you, and no one can share it better than you. So it's really your duty to share those stories with your audiences. Derek, what did we go over last week?
Last week was our target audiences, the different target audiences, because your speech is not going to be the same every single time. You're going to have different constituents that you're going to be speaking to. And so your speech is going to have to be tweaked a little bit each and every time, depending upon who you're speaking to.
Yeah, I mean, a different audience means a different message. Every time that we communicate, it's most likely to a different audience, so our message should be different. We talked about last week, you wouldn't want to be giving the same message to school-age kids as you would if you were going to talk to law enforcement. It'd be a totally different message. So always be thinking about your target audience and changing your message to make the greatest impact on that audience. And what was the other thing we covered last week?
Or ask, what do you want to get out of your presentation? First you got to figure out who you're going to give your presentation to. And then based on that, you can develop your speech based on who you're talking to, what you want to get out of it, and, make it your own.
There should be an ask in every type of speech, right? So whether it doesn't mean you're just asking for a donation. You could be asking someone to come be a fan of Special Olympics, to come volunteer, to participate, to get families involved. There are many different asks that can be a part of this. Every speech should contain one, because it really should add another stepping stone from your speech, that people know the next place to go to get involved. Today, we're going to go over the different types of speeches. The last few weeks, we've talked a lot about stand and deliver speeches. That's opening body and closing. The full speech, if you're standing up in a podium, standing up in front of an audience, delivering that speech. We've talked a lot about that, but we're going to go over some other types. We're going to look at one especially today. Derek, do you want to go ahead and give this list, and then we'll dive deeper into one of them?
Sure. The types of speeches we came up with are classic stand and delivers, interview or Q&A, question and answers, elevator speeches, award acceptance speeches, master of ceremonies, emceeing, or hosting an event.
Way to go. And like we said, the last few weeks, we've talked a lot about stand and deliver. Today, we're going to focus on the interview, the question and answer session. Again, that could happen at any time. It's good to have some things in your toolbox that you know or talking points that you can discuss, that you can communicate to share your message. In the next few weeks, we're going to go over some other types of speeches, but Derek did a great job of listing these. An elevator speech is a really quick 1-minute speech. If you were to go up to someone and wanted to get your point across and explain to them who you are, what you're about, what you're asking of them, that all really can be done in 1 minute. And that's a quick elevator speech. So we'll go over that more later. Accepting awards. Derek, you've had to do this before. Derek was our athlete of the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty, it can be overwhelming and surprising. And it's important to kind of have something prepared if that would happen. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Accepting award speeches, that was a real shocker. I wasn't prepared, and my speech, and I wasn't even thinking and something at that point. And so, I mean, my mind was somewhere else.
But that's why it's kind of good to kind of have something a little bit prepared, right? But that's okay. The audience knows usually that you're surprised, and that comes off as sincere, and that's okay. But I remember that speech that you gave, and it was very, very good. And I remember how thankful you were to the audience, to those that allowed you to receive that. And I remember you had some type of ask. You were, I think, encouraging athletes to stay involved, to keep doing what they're doing. And so you had that ask in there. So that's why learning about communications is so important, and using these different tools, because you will be prepared for any situation, no matter how surprised you might be. It just gives you the confidence to be more flexible, and you're already knowledgeable about what you're talking about, and it will come off sincere. The same thing goes for hosting an event, being a master of ceremonies, an MC. You might be asked to be an MC of one of our Special Olympic events, and what an honor. And if you really are confident in public speaking, you will be amazing at this, because you'll have all the tools that you need. So we'll dive deeper into that at a later date. But we are, again, going to focus today on questions and answers. So who joined us today?
Amanda Coat.
Amanda, I thought that was you. I can only see your eyes up, but I thought that was you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. We're
talking. What?
I was going to try to say, with all these tips that you guys provided, I would like to try to get better myself, because I don't know if you guys can see, I participated in Miss Amazing, and I too have got to put the word out, and public speaking is one of my talents, and I got to, within that, I won in my division, and I got to say, I got to not voice my opinion, but put the word out for the Athlete Leadership Program.
Absolutely. And that's voicing your opinion. It gives you a voice. Absolutely. We're so proud of you. I heard about you doing that, And congratulations. I heard it was incredible.
It was.
we're
I get to go to Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow, we're so proud of you. That is
It's either going to be this year or next year, depending on how this virus pans out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're happy you joined us. We're going to dive deeper into interview question and answer session. I know you're familiar with that, but we're going to go over some tips and tricks, and then we're going to actually interview 2 athletes that are on the line with us. So as we said, an interview can really happen at any time. A lot of people immediately think of a television interview. You have a reporter asking you questions, and I think all 4 of you that are on here right now have all experienced that, which is incredible. And we're so proud of you, but you are a representative of Special Olympics as a communicator. And so again, that's why we're doing this. It's so important to feel confident in what you're doing. And always think about what is the purpose of an interview. And really, it's to learn more about you. You should never feel or scared by an interview because it's you sharing your story. It's still a form of a speech. And again, you have the tools to be successful at it. I think Derek talked about last week, you're credible. No one knows Special Olympics better than you. No one knows your story better than you. And so that's why you have every right to be doing it, because you are the expert at it. So what does an interview look like? Derek, you and I talked about this before. What are some different types of interviews that could happen besides just a TV interview?
It could be a radio host asking you to come on a radio show and doing a broadcast over a radio. It could be someone interviewing after a game or something. On your sports.
What do we talk about jobs?
Oh, jobs. Oh, yes, being able to do like a mock interview and stuff, for like a job. Like you had to when I did my interview for Special Olympics, I went in and something and I was prepared. I had my resume ready to go, and I was ready to talking with Mary Lou Hammond, who is our human resources lady for Special Olympics, and she asking me questions, about like what my background is, where I came from, and what assets I can bring to the table to offer Special Olympics as we go forward.
Right. So it might be your future employer asking you questions to learn more about you, to see if you are right for the job. Absolutely. It could be a panel at a conference or an event where there's a host asking questions and there's multiple people. You might be the only person or multiple people on a panel answering questions about a specific topic. So it's always so important to be prepared. That way you feel confident in answering any question that might come your way. There are some really great examples of some awesome interviews on somo.org/TV. We highly encourage you to check it out. There are great videos if you slide down, or if you scroll down, there's some really awesome ones that you can watch and see what a great interview is like. Today, we're going to have a live panel, and we are very, very excited to have 2 guests. One is Lena Hodgson from the Kansas City metro area, and the other is Daxton Miller from the St. Louis metro area. And Daxton is filling in for another athlete that is sick. And so Daxton, thank you so much for being so awesome and coming on here last minute. It's so appreciated, but again, that sometimes is what an interview is like. But this is our panel. I'm going to introduce our host for this panel discussion. He is also an athlete and a Special Olympics Missouri employee. His name is Derek Sandbothe, and he is going to get things started.
All right.
Okay.
Well, so for Lena and Daxton, how long have each of you been involved with Special Olympics Missouri for?
I've been I don't know. How long been Special Olympics Missouri?
Yes.
Like 10 years?
Awesome. Lena, how long have you been involved with Special Olympics for?
I think I'm going on 11.
Wow. And so, Daxton, what type of sports are you involved with Special Olympics?
Right now, I did basketball, golf, and tennis, and bowling.
Awesome. How about you, Lena?
I participate in basketball, bowling, softball, track and field, and bocce.
Wow. So you guys are really, really heavy involved. Excellent job. Um, let's see what is your favorite summer memory, Lena?
I would have to say that when I got my first gold medal at the national games for a 100-meter run in
And
2018.
that is incredible. Congratulations, great job.
Thank you.
And I'll get more into that in a little bit. Daxton, do you have a favorite Special Olympics memory?
Yeah, I got my reward for the Athlete of the Year.
That is incredible and stuff. What year did you receive that?
I did a lot of stuff for the Special Olympics.
Oh, that's cool. Anyways, hey Lena, tell us about your experience in Seattle. Like what you got to do and what you got to see, and how it made you feel.
Well, it was my first experience and I loved it, every minute of it. I competed one event every day, pretty much. So, and we got to do some surprises at the end of each day. We took a boat and around to the harbor around in Seattle. We visit the Gum Mall. That was something. Then we visit the what's it called? The market, the fish market, but it was a little crowded, so we couldn't go. And we also went to a baseball game.
Cool. Hey Daxton, tell us about your experience through our athlete leadership program.
The Special Olympic program.
He
Yeah.
asked, sorry, it's kind of hard to hear. He asked you about Alps University, the athlete leadership program. You want to tell them about your experience in graduating, maybe?
Yeah, when a couple classes.
Yeah.
I did a couple classes. I try to remember what I done. I've been helped do it.
Do you want to tell them about your graduation and how that made you feel?
I graduated from the school. I'm happy. My family came down, watched me do the graduation deal.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
Happy.
Daxton, you can't see the screen, but we have your graduation picture. You're holding your diploma. We have it up on the screen.
How you do?
That was a pretty amazing moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very, very
I'm
proud of
happy
you.
with the cap and gown too.
Yeah, you wear your cap and gown, absolutely.
Well, geez.
So Amanda, since you're on here, tell us about your experiences through our athlete leadership program.
I'm having a fun with that, but I got a question for Daxton.
Daxton, Amanda has a question for you.
Okay.
I'm really stuck with the graduation right now. With all this virus going on, how can I graduate?
I be sad I'm gonna see everybody graduate same time. We can graduate together about the virus there.
Just want everyone to be together. I know. And Amanda,
Yeah.
Amanda, I know it's got to be a tough time. I
Yeah.
don't know. Are you in the capstone right now? The last step?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about what your capstone project is?
Yeah, to help recruit more athletes for the program.
Okay, well, I think you're doing a great job of it right now, talking about your experience. Maybe you can get involved at some of our SOMO at home programming like this one, right? You're helping with right now. And maybe you can do some athlete recruiting on there. We can get creative on how you can do it over the computer instead of in person.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I can't see some more games. It's not going to happen.
Well, we're just changing how we're doing it, and we're going to get creative, and we'll still have a celebration whenever you graduate. I can promise you that. It'll still be a lot of fun, okay?
It's
So,
cool.
yeah, so contact, Derek and I, or your teachers, whoever you need to within ALPS, but I really would love to see you get involved more with SOMO at home programming like this one, because I think it'd be a really good fit for you.
The only thing is, though, I can't get through flip grid. I'm having Linda help me with that.
Were you able to create an account on it?
No. I didn't know I had to do that.
That's okay. Well, why don't you reach out to me and Derek? We're going to have our contact information at the end. Why don't you reach out to us and we can try to help you or get you in contact with someone that can, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we'd be glad to help you.
Awesome. Derek, is there anything else you want to add as a host?
So, Amanda, what sports do you play?
I too was one of the athletes with Lena in Seattle. I work for bocce ball. I do basketball, softball, bowling. That's the only ones I can remember right now.
Well, that's all right. Good. So tell us about your experience at national games up in Seattle, Washington.
I had a blast for my first time. I came back with a bronze medal. I came really close to grabbing second.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. I got a question too for you, Derek.
Yes.
I want to be able to apply, not to apply for Orlando for the next step, but I would like to be able not to compete. I would like to go down to be able to, on the side of take pictures on alongside of Brandon. Is there a way you could help me with that?
Amanda, we've already talked about this.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were on the line, Brandon.
I'm always here, Amanda. I am always here.
Well, geez.
No, nobody else can help you with that. I'm the only one. Okay. So we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that later. Okay.
I'm sorry. Great. I didn't know you were there.
It doesn't matter if you knew or not. That just shows you if I'm the only one you're supposed to talk to, don't talk to Derek about it.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
I'm always listening, Amanda.
Okay, now I'm speechless now.
That is great. Well, Derek, do you want to wrap up our panel discussion?
Sure. We are so glad that you guys were able to join us today on our communications lesson 4. And hopefully you guys will continue to join us on Friday afternoons from 1 o'clock for more tips and stuff on how you guys can be better communicators and all the different types of speeches that you can deliver, and being able to possibly give a speech and stuff on one of our lessons. So we'd be glad to be able to listen to you guys and hear what you have to say.
And before we're totally done, let's talk about what happened today. I love, Amanda, thank you for being comfortable to jump in. That was awesome. We so appreciate you answering some questions. And again, Daxton, you being flexible and talking with us over the phone. We can't thank you enough. And Lena, thank you for sharing your story. Derek, thank you for being our host. And Derek, on a couple items, he gave some follow-up questions. And that's something important to remember, that when a host is asking you questions, just because they ask you that first one, what is your favorite sport, or what sports do you play? There might be follow-up questions to those. What's your favorite one, or what's your best experience at those? So always be thinking about those kind of spin-off questions that they could be asking as well. I think Derek asked Daxton, about graduating, and then how did that make you feel? And those can always come, and they probably will. So be thinking about those and how you might be answering them. But thank you everyone for speaking clearly and loudly. And I know it's all through technology. It shows how great communication is. So everyone, thank you very, very much. This is a great example and some good practice for some question and answer sessions.
See, you all are great communicators, and we can't wait to hear from you guys next time. So hopefully, maybe if you guys want to, you guys can join us again next week and possibly deliver a speech, um, you know, on our one of our lessons. So we'd be glad and honored to have you guys join us again next Friday as well. Does anybody have any questions for me, Mary?
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Awesome, that's fine. If you think of any, or if you want to write me in the comments, we will get back to you. Or Derek and I, we're going to leave our contact information here in just a minute, and you can please feel free to reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Again, if you're interested in helping deliver any of our speeches or being a part of our classes, let us know as well. Some things to look forward to that we're going to be going over. Again, we're going to continue with speech delivery, different types of speeches, learning from experts like you all. We are going to talk about overcoming fears to make sure you have every confidence to communicate at all times. And then let us know what you want to learn. Please keep letting us know. We'll keep crafting classes to what you want to know about.
Hey guys, what time is it for next week Friday?
Every Friday at 1.
On at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Fridays.
All right, I wanted to ask because I have to work next week Friday.
That's okay. You can always watch it later on. We're going to leave this screen up here, and you can watch it at somo.org/at-home, or on the Facebook page. You can follow any of these lessons and go back and watch them.
Okay.
And all three of you are involved with ALPS, but Derek, do you want to remind everyone about Athlete Leadership Programs University?
Yes. So our athlete leadership program, we have a university we host twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. And my job is actually to recruit new athletes to our athlete leadership program. So if any one of our athletes know of any athletes that are interested in joining, please let me know, so I can get their contact information from you, and I can contact them and try and get them on board with us. So please be thinking of that, and I'd be honored to be able to deliver and let them know, and so what we have to offer, what they want to learn. We have so many different we have so many courses with our athlete leadership program. There are so many things a person can learn. It's just not. It's kind of like how our special Olympics program has gotten so much bigger because we are so much more than sports. We have an educational side, a health side, and a sports side and stuff, and so we are the only ones that have all three components in the United States here in Missouri. So if you guys want to learn anything, please let us know. Reach out to me, reach out to Mary, reach out to Brendan Shotzik at our special Olympics office. So please be thinking of that.
Or reach
So
out to
thank
Amanda
you.
Cope.
Oh, thank you.
She's going to be helping recruit too. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Amanda, please help me and stuff, in doing this and stuff. We'd be so thankful to have you. Here is our contact information, our email addresses. So if you guys want, you guys can jot those down, and then you can either email me or Mary, and we'd be honored to be able to share this PowerPoint with you, so you can share with your friends as well.
Can you give me a pen, please, quickly?
We'll leave it up for a minute, but thank you all so much for joining us. It was a great discussion, great Q&A. We look forward to seeing you next Friday at 1.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jackson.
Remember, Amanda, I'm
Bye.
always listening.
Bye.
Thanks, Lena. Thanks, Amanda. Thank you, Derek.
You're very
I'm
welcome.
always listening, Amanda.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.